That's how I stand, bro. Let me be natural.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Logan.
Today we are going to be installing RB Components headliner shelf. We have a 2016 high roof Transit.
Okay, so basically we're just going to take the instructions that RB Component has sent with the shelf and follow it and show you basically just how to install it.
Here we go. Okay, so to do this, to install the Transit headliner shelf, you need 11 tools. We were wiring our heater and a wire is running over our slider door and down by the passenger seat. In doing that, we already took off the foam block, so we are going to skip that step, but we will walk you through how we would have done that if we didn't already remove our foam blocks. They say that you should probably have 2 people, which makes sense because having to hold things up and move them.
Dumb and Dumber. That's us too.
And then they say 30 to 45 minutes, so we'll see how long it actually takes this. Up above the driver and passenger's side, this is where the airbags are, right here. And we already have them taken down, but usually there's these foam blocks that the van comes with. So in theory, if we hadn't already taken these down, the first thing that we would do is there's these black clips here. The instructions say to clip that off and take that out. We actually found with pliers that we were able to pull them out because we were worried about replacing them, but thankfully RB Components actually sends you 4 new clips so you can cut them out, which is much easier and saves you time. So those are in these little pockets here. So the first thing you would do is cut that and then remove the foam block. All right, next step is getting underneath the light housing up front. Our van came with a clip already kind of broken, so it's already slightly hanging on the right side, but we're gonna go under with like a flathead screwdriver and try to get that and then the other side down.
Access granted.
So now we have the entire light housing literally dangling for its life. The next thing we're gonna do is go up inside of there, and there's a black bolt that's gonna be really hard to see, but it's in the very center, and we're gonna go in with a 7mm socket wrench and take out that bolt.
Just a little tip is just to get better access and gain better access up in there, you just unplug this harness and you can move this entire housing out of the way, and that way you just get easier access up to here. Almost.
Still not?
Jeez, yeah. So whenever you think it's almost done, just go ahead and do the same amount of wrenching that you already did, and then you might be there. Okay, wait.
Did you get it?
I mean, it's for sure unhooked. I just don't know if I need to pull it out.
I think you need to get the bolt out.
Why not?
There's 2 bolts over here and then 2 more on this side, and we just need to remove those as well. Is that gonna totally take this thing down?
It's not gonna fall down. Fall down. I almost went in my eye. Short boy. So now that we got these bolts out, we're just gonna reach up, arm through here, and reach to right here. There's a clip in there that you need to pinch forward and backwards, and then it just pops right out the bottom like that. And you pull that out on both sides, and we're gonna be replacing it with something else. Okay, so this is the factory clip that we just pulled out or popped out. This is the replacement that we're gonna be slipping on. One thing that you need to make sure that you do is when you install it, you need to make sure that these threads are facing up, north, towards Santa Claus. So basically, you're just gonna take this exactly from the place that this was, get up in there and slide it in there. Okay, so next what we're doing is we're replacing those clips that you just took out with these slip clips here. So basically, you're just gonna slip this over the metal, and it's gonna give you a nut that you can put the...
I'm gonna go right in here.
Yeah, and a little tip is kind of get it in place where you're gonna want it. And it's hard to, there's not much space back there, so use your flathead screwdriver that you have and get on the end of it and just kind of like pry it in there. That makes it much easier. Okay, I'm just gonna draw just a quick little thing to help with getting that clip on, because it took me a second to realize how to get it on. I've used them before, but
it's also hard to see with the camera up in that area.
Yeah, so basically you have this hole in the metal right there, and then the metal ends here, and then this way it keeps, you know, wrapping up. So what you do is you take that clip and you get on the edge of where this metal is ended, and it slips on, and on the end of that clip, that's where the nut is going to be, so that you can come from the underside and bolt into it.
Okay, so the next thing that we're going to install are these mounting brackets. We're going to install them using these 5mm by 25mm screws. So the way that you're going to know if you like which way to install these, whether it's this way, whatever, you want to make sure that near the front is the wider square that's left to right. So the way that you can kind of make sure that you have the right one also is when you bring it up, this is where it's going to get installed, and it's going to sit flush against that L, and it's also going to fit within those brackets perfectly. Okay. Brackets going in. So this is the passenger side, and it's just going to set in there. We're going to do the back one first and just get it started, and then move to the front, and then do the same on the other side, and then tighten all four. It's just going to allow some wiggle room in case we need to move it around.
See you later, Bolt.
It's hard.
We're going to show the whole process here, this installation.
I can't see anything.
See your alfalfa.
What's my alfalfa?
Your hair's sticking up.
My hand is so shaky.
And remember, don't go through the plastic, is what I said. Look underneath and make sure that you don't go through the plastic. Did you already go through the plastic?
I mean, a little bit. Okay, so something that we noticed is for the front bolts, the bolts are a little bit bigger than the hole in the plastic. So we had to be a little bit forceful with getting them up there and making sure that we could get them all the way in. My arms are getting tired.
So next up, what we're doing is we're mounting these side brackets, and we're going to be using the 2 silver bolts that they came with, and they have a little cutting thread on them. And we're going to use just a drop of oil, which will help get it through, because I don't believe that this is threaded here. So you just put that through there, and then you're gonna have to give it a little bit of force to get it in there. We're gonna work it in and out just to get some of the metal that's in there. Just do one more little drop. I've switched over to a 3/8 inch socket wrench just because it gives me a little bit more leverage. And I'm also, because we have to back the bolt in and out a couple times to clear the threads, I'm not going to bother with starting with this because it's just going to get in the way while I'm pulling the bolt in and out. So I'll just wait to put that on once I'm finally putting the bolt all the way in. Back it out a little bit now. One more drop, just on the start of the threads.
Okay, next the shelf is actually finally going in. So there is one tab in the very front of the shelf that is going to line up within the light housing. So we need to, when we put the shelf in, we're going to make sure that those 2 holes align. And then we're going to take these, it's a 1/4 20th by 5/8 inch, and a nut. And we're going to install them in all of the holes. And we're going to put them face up. For summer is for falling in love. Woo! Snug as a bug in a rug. Okay. So we took some G flooring, and it's like small coin, and we traced the headliner shelf. It's just going to give a little bit more grip. We're not using any adhesive to actually like keep it in place. But where we're gonna bolt the headliner shelf into the brackets, and we're just gonna drill through those so that it secures this down onto the shelf. That way, if we want later, we can take it out, we can replace it. If we end up not liking it, we can always just change it out. That turned out like more perfect than I expected. What do you think? It looks really good.
Cool.
Good job. Okay, we're gonna put the last 6 bolts in and machine screws. We're gonna make sure that they go upward, and then we're gonna put a little flanged, it's not a washer, it's a nut, on top, and secure everything together. And in our instance, it's also gonna mean securing the G-floor that we installed, which looks fabulous, by the way.
And while we're doing these, tightening these down, we're gonna be doing it just the same how we were doing with the other bolts, is that you wanna go around and get all of them loosely in place and then come back through and tighten them all at the same time. Okay. So now what we're doing is we're gonna take that bolt that we took out at the very beginning. After pulling this off, we're gonna reinstall that same bolt now. So now we're just gonna reinstall this lamp housing. So you just push this till it clicks, get these lined back up, and then it all just snaps right back in place. In love. We could stay out late until the sun sets past 8.
Okay, we're all done officially. This is our new shelf. How do you feel like it was complication-wise?
Pretty simple. Those couple little tips that we told you, I think will make it a little bit easier on you. But all in all, not hard at all.
Building our own shelf would have been substantially more complicated in order to get it perfect, and also the quality of how it looks with the actual G-floor within the shelf. I think that we couldn't have created that ourselves. So, I mean, I would say it's definitely high quality. No, a better one.
That was good.
One more.
That was...
Okay, that's good. Give me a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Ready? Say hello.
I say hello?
I don't know.
Like at the same time?
I don't know, just say hello.
Hello. Looks a good cake too. Okay, cool. So
This is some trash filming, let me tell you.
So you can just pop this connector out right here, disconnect it, and that...
Now you eat it. If it was like this, the wider side left to right is in the back, so that's how you know it's wrong. Does that make sense?
No.
That kind of makes sense. I don't know.
It does.
Okay. I got something in my eye. It's so hard to know. I don't know how to do this.
What are you doing?
How hard was that?
I got sweaty hands.
I spent all that time. Let's just try.
Just this one.
Just
Can we just
try.
cut this off?
We're gonna take these stubby things. We're gonna put these little things on top, and then we're gonna use this tiny stubby thing. No.